is one of the remote places on the planet. And in the open ocean, there are no landmarks. So Hawaii was discovered by canoes with no GPS, no motors, no electronics, just pure nature. And that's what we're doing today, to celebrate that. So we're on Hokulea. She is a replica of a Polynesian voyaging canoe. They were the mode of transportation for discovering the Hawaiian Islands.
There's no metal, there's no screws, there's no nails, there's no braces that hold the canoe together. It's nothing but lashings of rope. There's no motors on board. There's no navigation equipment that we use to go across the ocean. We started in Hawaii in end of May 2014. We embarked on this worldwide voyage, which first ended up going towards Tahiti through our ancestral routes, and now we're here in Martha's Vineyard.
A big part of this voyage, right, Malama Honua, is to train a whole cadre of young navigators and captains. Wait, leave the back sail. Let's get the 23 out, a big foresail. Kaleo Wong is one of the apprentice navigators. I've done 4 voyages with him. And he was on his own across the Atlantic Ocean, and he was brilliant. I mean, he was just so successful. You know, after traveling like 1,200 miles, finding just little islands in the middle of nowhere. You're talking like thousands of hours of observation at sea.
When we were navigating the open ocean, our biggest clue that tells us where we are and where we're going is the sun. The sun, as we know, rises in the east and sets in the west. So if we just know where one point of it is, then we know where everything else is. The stars do us the same thing. It's like the compass in the sky. We memorize close to 200 stars and know where they rise and where they set and how they move across the skies.
The sun and the stars and everything work in conjunction with the swells. So in the absence of the sun, then you maintain the orientation of the canoe to those swell patterns. That's a very difficult thing. The Hokulea was built with the express purpose of proving that navigation by the ancient way was very viable. These canoes could be guided over 2,000 miles and long distances. They proved that on their very first voyage in 1976. What it means is continuation. Kaleo and these others, they're just like a pinch of salt as far as the people who know how to do this type of navigation.
Imagine you're a sailor, working on a Great Lakes freighter for 2 months at a time, and you need your mail delivered. Well, that's where we come in. My name is Jim Hogan, and I'm the owner and the 4th generation of the J.W. Westcott Company. This company was started in 1874 by my great-grandfather, Captain John Ward Westcott. We operate a shore-to-ship and ship-to-shore delivery boat in the Port of Detroit. We're the only floating zip code in actually the United States, and it still holds true today. Any package that's got that 48222 zip code is going to arrive here at our station. On any given day, we receive mail and packages in the morning. You see the various pigeonholes, as they were called. Each of those represent different ships. We place mail in those slots, and we wait until the vessel is actually coming through the Port of Detroit.
Hey, Dorothy Ann, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Just getting finished up here.
Okay, real good. We'll see you in a little bit.
We pack the mail bags. The captain takes the vessel away from our dock, and off to midstream we go. We deliver mail by the pail, and that's the sailor's mailbox, if you will. The crewmen aboard the ship will lower down a bucket, and we'll fill the bucket with the mail. and then we send the bucket back up. Sometimes we're delivering passengers, crew. We had a grocery order a number of years ago. The last item was about 3.5 feet long, and I looked at it and it was a tuna, a whole tuna. We end the delivery with a salute. We head back to the dock and wait for our next adventure. I've worked here for 43 years. I'm grateful to have been a part of all of this, and I look forward to a fifth generation taking this on and seeing where it goes, up or down the river, as it were.
Ships are magnificent creatures of the sea, built, designed for the deep waters of the ocean. But once you bring these magnificent creatures to inland waters around the world, they get fairly clumsy.
A ship at sea may travel 3,000 miles in a straight line. But the difficulty happens when you get to port, and that's when the ship pilot takes over. He's essentially like a valet who parks your car. The pilot comes out usually on a small pilot boat, and then they climb up the side of the ship on a small ladder up to the wheelhouse to get the ship into the port.
If it floats, we are capable of moving it.
Here at MPI, we train ship pilots to guide the largest moving objects on the planet. We have traditional classroom training. We have a state-of-the-art ship simulator, and then we have manned model. Although these models may look like toy boats, they're actually precise tools used to mimic the behavior of vessels. If you took a full-size vessel and shrunk it down 25 times, you could get very reliable results.
A human being on our models would be like 1 3/4 inches tall.
The manned models are between 24,000 and 30,000 pounds of weight, and they have 0.4 horsepower. They behave exactly like a ship.
This is real. This is how it's done on board all the ships around the world. Starboard 10 degrees.
Starboard 10.
We surely would not want to practice with a perfectly good ship and say, well, Captain, we have to drop anchors and simulate broke down engines and steering. So we do that with these vessels. It's a profession that I think, for me, at the top of the maritime field. It's an awesome responsibility and very challenging. When I finish and walk down the dock, look back at the ship and say, yes, that was a good challenge.
Quand tu es jeune, on te demande qu'est-ce que tu veux faire, mais avant de savoir qu'est-ce que je veux faire, moi j'aimerais bien savoir où j'ai envie d'être.
At only 24 years old, Guérec Soudé is aboard a 30-foot boat sailing around the world completely on his own.
Donc moi ça c'était vraiment un rêve depuis tout petit de faire ce tour du monde. Enfin vraiment qui ne rêve pas de voyager comme ça, de faire plein de pays, de rencontrer plein de personnes, et ouais, j'aime ça. J'ai quand même accumulé quelques milles en distance, c'est entre 15 et 20 000.
He left his home in France 2.5 years ago to begin his journey.
Je suis arrivé d'abord en Espagne, après j'ai fait le Portugal, j'ai longé les côtes africaines, et là je suis arrivé aux Caraïbes, puis après je suis arrivé au Groenland où je suis resté 1 an, puis après j'ai fait ce qu'on appelle le passage du Nord-Ouest, donc pour partir de l'Atlantique pour arriver dans le Pacifique par le nord de l'Amérique en fait. Alors le voyage il va se terminer quand on sera de retour en France. Je suis un peu particulier dans le sens où j'ai beaucoup d'amis, mais j'aime beaucoup me retrouver seul. D'être tout seul, c'est génial quoi, c'est vraiment super.
Although he's been navigating alone, he's found an unlikely companion.
Je suis quand même accompagné de Monique. Je rêvais d'avoir une poule avant même d'avoir mon bateau. Donc Donc je m'étais renseigné auprès d'experts en France, on m'avait dit impossible, si elle est stressée, elle ne peut pas pondre. Monique, j'ai trouvé aux Canaries, et premier jour sur le bateau, Momo m'a fait un œuf, et en 28 jours, elle en a pondu 25. Donc autant dire qu'elle est plutôt à l'aise, quoi. Bah, avec Monique, nous on est curieux et on voulait savoir comment ça se passe pour avoir notre propre avis. J'aime bien en fait me retrouver dans des situations un petit peu critiques et compter que sur moi, et c'est vraiment très intéressant. Cet hivernage, quand t'es pris dans les glaces, tu te demandes ce que tu fais là, quoi, vraiment. T'as qu'une envie, c'est qu'on vienne te chercher. Il y a même des moments, mais moi je donnerais mon bateau, je payerais toute ma vie pour qu'on me sorte de là, quoi. Et après le lendemain, eh ben, le soleil est de retour, le vent s'est calmé, Monique a pondu un œuf et la vie recommence, quoi.
Today's journey takes us to the Dutch town of Giethoorn. Giethoorn is just like any normal town, with one exception. Roads. They don't have them.
De mensen die zijn aangewezen op een boot. Sommigen kunnen dan wel met de fiets op de plek van bestemming komen. En anders moet het lopen gebeuren. Ik ben Per Dedden, local burgemeester van Giethoorn. Nou, er zijn 2400 inwoners ongeveer en 1100 huizen.
And boats. Lots of boats.
Een goede dag zitten er ongeveer zo'n 500, 600 bootjes hier wel op hier in Giethoorn.
That's Jan, one of the town's resident boat builders. He's known for Punters, a flat-bottom boat that originated in Giethoorn.
Is wel ontstaan in Giethoorn, maar momenteel gaan ze echt over de hele wereld.
And where there are boats, there are bridges. 167 to be exact. And just like any town, people need their groceries, their furniture, their beer, you name it. But in Giethoorn, they must pass through Anton. He's the town's bridge guard.
Als de brugwachters ermee stoppen, dan ligt het dorp stil. Op een drukke dag ongeveer 300 boten, waar we dus de opening voor verzorgen.
One of those boats is the fireboat. This is Bart and Eric.
In ieder geval de plek waar wij dus met de auto niet kunnen komen. Dat is natuurlijk hier in het dorp Giethoorn veel plek. Veel woningen aan het water, dus voor blussingen van brand gaan we eruit. Maar ook voor het redden van eventueel drenkelingen, boten die zinkende zijn of noem maar op.
And this is Jan. He's in charge of maintaining the natural lands around Giethoorn.
Nou, alles rond Giethoorn, de meeste weilanden zijn gewoon per boot bereikbaar. En de koeien op de boot, dat zien we in Nederland niet zoveel meer. Maar dat gebeurt dus in Giethoorn nog wel. Voor ons is het eigenlijk normaal.
So, there you have it. The residents of Giethoorn prove that a life without asphalt, traffic, and trips to the DMV can be pretty damn great. Roads? Who needs them? Bye, Giethoorn.